bring it, I have been in the truck, I didn't bring it in.
Yes, did y'all? Is that good time? Yeah, I got to see everybody. It's hard when they grow up.
Display something from this
Yeah.
computer.
They still playing it right now, they put that to me.
You want it on these two monitors right here?
Yes, ma'am.
I think how this worked out pretty good for y'all?
Yes.
That was good. Yeah, cool.
So do you have?
Am I going to sit up there to operate that?
You know how?
Yeah, I push button.
I think about that part.
I might be able to, depending on how long his cable is, we may be able to get it over here too. Before we put it up for everybody else, did you want to get it to the screen that you want it on? Oh, it's just your computer? Yeah, if you want to get it, it's just once we,
You gotta charge them every once in a while.
once you plug this in,
Yeah.
see whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. So then.
I figured no more time than me and Ricky had left, we could get,
We could charge it once and we could coast on it.
Direction of that to turn it on, and same thing for that.
That's where Ricky's is at right now, is that home charge?
Turn 'em on. Right, see if it works. And then the same thing, if you need the second screen, but you're all over here, it may work.
Yeah. All right, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry about that.
The new road through Hickman County.
I thought that was Judge Puckett's driveway.
Well, that it may be, we don't
Oh, that would
know.
be an expensive driveway. But a beautiful one.
You ready, Jordan?
Yes.
We'll go ahead and call a meeting to order and get through our regular business pretty quick, I hope, so that Jordan can have some time on, his budget information for us. Christie, can you do the roll call, please?
Jim Heron, Danny Clark,
Here.
Matthew Barnhill.
Here.
Steve Giannakis.
Here.
Dusty Jordan.
Here.
Devin Picker.
Here.
Ricky Murray.
Here.
Becky Bates.
Here.
All right.
Jim Heron.
Here.
You'll have to
All
double
up
check.
there. Just got the agenda get down with over. A motion to approve, motion approved, second by Mr. Barnhill. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, now time for public comment, if you got anybody, you got something to say? I know, you got a head shake back there. All right, March minutes are also in your packet. I think a motion to approve the March minutes. Got a motion by Mr. Barnhill, second by Commissioner Giannakis. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, let's move right into the report.
First one's the trustees report. We earned $78,983.70 this past month. And the second page of the trustees report shows our current cash balance, which is $662,488.57. And my notes made it on this copy, but set to end the year at $450,000 in cash, with $450,000 in cash.
Any questions on Hearing none. Go ahead.
Alright, revenue is on track. Yeah. Pretty much on track with Brett there.
Any questions on revenue? Alright. Alright, Jordan.
Like, we've got there's some, you know, some cleanup to do on the expenses. And I've got a budget amendment at the end of the packet to, that just cleans that stuff up. But,
Any questions on financial expenditure report? Hearing none. A motion to approve the financial for solid waste.
Move to approve all the financial reports.
Second by Jim Harris. Did you get that, Christie?
Okay.
Got it? Did you get it? Did what?
You know, and he seconded.
Jim, second.
Gotcha.
Any discussion? Do a roll call vote if you would, Christie.
Jim Heron,
Yes.
Danny Park,
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill,
Yes.
Steve Giannakis.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan,
Yes.
Devin Picker,
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Becky Bates. Yes.
All right, motion passes unanimously.
Alright, the next report on here is the new report we've been doing from the billing office. And, we've sent out, a bunch of letters, and to people who owed old solid waste money. And this year this month we collected $31,389, and we've reduced the debt by 4.13%, and have entered into 24 monthly payment agreements with people, and the average monthly payment has been about $100 a month. And so we're making progress on the debt. And then the current year's billing, we collected a little bit, and we're getting closer to 90%. We went up about 0.2% this past month on our percent resolved. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with the amount of old money that
Yeah.
came in one month.
How many of those 24 month agreements, approximately?
So
You know, how many of those 24-month payment, how many people did you sign up? Signed up for that?
is this 24 signed up?
24?
Yeah, 24, we've entered into agreements with 24 of them to, we sent way more than 24 letters. We sent like 50, 60 letters. And then 24 have entered into agreements with us where they're paying at least $100 a month. There's one, Dan said he wants $100 a month. That's what really makes sense. There's a few that, you know, like they're on fixed income and stuff like that. We work with them, but on average, they're paying about $100 a month.
Any questions for Jordan on the new report? All right.
Tonnage report. Sold 3 loads of cardboard. 28.97 tons of metal. Transfer station, it's been a busy month at the transfer station, about 100 more tons than last year.
You got any questions for Jordan on you not hear me all right? Sometimes I don't talk loud enough.
What'd you say?
I said, you can hear me all right, and you answered it just then.
I got you.
You have anything else on the tonnage, are we done?
That's it. I mean,
Okay.
it's like recycling, you know, sometimes we get, you know, we're doing good on recycling. I'll get into that later when we go into comparisons against other counties. I really like to get more glass and aluminum cans moving. We're getting rid of everything that comes in. And a lot of this is like where it used to be maybe we get a little bit of glass every month. We're like, we've got a stockpile where we kind of build up a full load. So anyway, I think we're doing good on recycling. We could always, more recycling better. And there, but yeah, the tonnage is increasing every month. Like, I don't know what's going on, but we're getting more trash every month than we've ever gotten before. It's just growing and growing, and we're just hanging in there. But yeah, that's all I got to say about tonnage. Unless anybody has any questions. And then Perry County is the report after the tonnage report. And the solid waste director for Perry County came and visited me in person like 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago at this point, and he said that he intends to put it out to bid, like put their disposal out to bid. And currently what they get from us is a place to dump their waste. They truck it themselves. They use their own compactors and their own trucks, their own employees, and we charge them $60 per ton just to dump it there. So for comparison to what our deal with Waste Management is that they come pick it up from our transfer station for $48.89 per ton. So we don't have any, and we have to truck it from the convenience center to the landfill. But so what I'm getting at is Perry County intends to go out to bid. They're gonna ask Waste Management and us and waste haulers to provide a bid for disposal, just, you know, what it costs to dump it at your facility. We're probably say, we can't say any less than we're getting charged, because then we'd be losing money on the deal. And so we can't charge any less than $53.89, which is what Waste Management has proposed for next year.
I have it.
Yeah, 89. They called me about 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
Now Waste Management can charge $51 and get the business and just have someone show up to their landfill and dump it. So, you know, that's gonna be hard to compete with Waste Management because we're sending our trash to Waste Management. So, I don't know what we can propose to keep it. So, in our budget, I assume that we don't have Perry County as a customer next year.
If there's no profit, I don't want their garbage.
No, absolutely not, yeah. So,
You gotta make some profit. I mean, you do have to push it in. I mean, and you are, you know, blocking the, you know,
yeah, even if,
the convenience center while they're pushing the trash in and making the lines longer.
yeah,
So,
Yeah, I don't think we can bid any less than we're doing right now.
yeah,
And I
need to
don't know, when you and I talked a week or so ago, we weren't sure what Waste Management was gonna charge. You were saying around $54 somewhere in there, and then you said 53 something, 53, how much did you say? Or 51?
they said, just for your budget, assume a $4 increase. Because our contract is up with Waste Management, we have a 5-year contract, and they said, you can either, and this is probably something we will talk about later, is, they said either, we're not interested in extending the current terms of your contract. So in other words, we're gonna increase more than inflation. Or the consumer price index for water, sewer, and trash service. There's a specific index that our increases are tied to. They said they're not interested in increasing on the same terms. What they want is $4 more per ton now to renew that contract. So they'll put us at $53.89.
And with indexed increases after that?
Yes, for 5 years. Yeah.
You had said that we kept this contract longer because they were concerned that we may have a landfill here back when Marty was proposing that. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the way we've kept we didn't get any increases for the first 3 years I was here. The first increase was earlier this fiscal year, like in October or something like that. And the way I kept them from increasing per our contract was saying like, hey, you know, there's not really a landfill in this area. There's people always proposing landfills, you know, the more, you know, the higher you get, the better a landfill looks, you know, stuff like that. Well, House Bill 1510 just passed, passed the House, I think. I don't know if it went through the Senate yet, but essentially it designates the Duck River and all its tributaries in Hickman County as Class 2 scenic rivers, which means you can't site a landfill within 2 miles of it, which means that's like 2/3 of the county. You can't put a landfill in there, so.
Or one of the major tributaries, is that right?
What's that?
One of the major tributaries.
Yes, Beaver Dam, Lick Creek, Swan Creek, and Pioneer River. So, which, you know, we have the Jackson Law, so any landfill that moves in the county has to be approved by you all. You know, the full county court has to approve has to vote affirming a landfill. So, but the river gets other protections. It's not just against landfills, it's against industrial development and logging and stuff too. But as it's written right now, 2/3 of the county aren't even a possibility for a landfill. Our landfill is safe. We're 3.1 miles from the Duck River. That's the closest stream on that bill. But so we can get an expansion. It doesn't interfere with any of our expansion plans or anything like that. But anyway, that's just something interesting. It's one piece of pressure we're getting that we haven't had before, because so Waste Management obviously knows about, they're tracking all these bills, and it applies a little bit to Lewis County too. So it's the entirety of the Duck River. There's a 2-mile buffer zone around the entirety of the Duck River, and then the tributaries in Hickman County. So, kind of interesting, but anyway, yeah, Perry County is making money right now, but just to be safe, I didn't include it in the budget. I'm not aware of any holidays before the next meeting. And then the next first Monday is May 4th, 2026. Kind of already went over these 3 and 4 in the billing office report, but we billed out $1,040,940, and the current year's unpaid is $213,951.04. Percent resolved at the end of last month was 89.72%. The total old money debt is currently $727,828.18. We sent out escalation letters. 24 new monthly payment plans were set up. We set the minimum payment at $100 a month. There's a few that are on fixed income that we're working with, and we reduced the debt 4.13% last month. And then we already started getting these problems a little bit, but Perry County is going out to bid. Waste Management is raising their fees $4. Our diesel costs are up like 50%, which impacts Waste Management too. You know, that's one of the reasons they're going up, is because the MBI, the trucking company, is instigating a lot of this, and we don't save enough money to. Our equipment reserve isn't working. So, and you know, I looked at a bunch of different ways to, you know, balance our budget while funding equipment, and recommending $120 household fee, $100 per ton tipping fee, a 10% annual contribution to the equipment reserve, a replacement cycle for heavy equipment and trucks of 14,000 hours or 300,000 miles. You know, equipment 14,000, trucks 300,000 miles, and then run our trash compactors for 20 years, and then annual reauthorization of the household fee, tipping fee, equipment reserve. So that's a lot. I'm sorry. I know it's horrible timing, but that's what it takes to balance the budget and to get our equipment on a predictable cycle. And there's 1,000, like those two numbers at the top, 120 and $100 a ton. You know, there's an infinite number of combinations that could be like adjusted to make that work. But I think that is
$100 a ton, but it's probably about the highest in the state, wasn't it?
no. It's not even high. Like Perry County or Wayne County is $100 a ton. Cedar Ridge is like $98 a ton. Middle Point's $170 a ton. Like it's the highest of the counties that touch us, for sure. Yeah, but to balance the budget, like if we say we went up to the average in the area, which is $75 a ton, that's Dixon, Williamson, Murray County. If we went to $75 a ton, I've tested it, we have to charge $135 a household to make the budget balanced. So, and I've got the budget up here where we can put in different numbers to test the different scenarios. But, also, I sent out an email and had a bunch of data in there. We're paying $90 a household for solid waste. The next cheapest county is Lewis County at $106 a household. Now their fee is $100, but then they get local tax allocation too, and so the equivalent household fee is $106 a household. And they don't have convenience centers. They have 0 convenience centers. They run roving centers, you know, and they're smaller. And then the average effective household fee or equivalent household fee is $145 a household. And it ranges from us at 90 to Perry County, which is up at $231 per household is what they're spending on trash. So we're definitely we're at the low end. And then in terms of tipping fees currently, of all the people that charge tipping fees that border us, we're tied with Lewis County for the lowest tipping fee of $60. Yeah, $100 is a high tipping fee, isn't it? Yeah, for sure.
It's almost double what we're charging now.
Remind me what tipping fee, who's that, who's charge that?
And when you cross the scales, it's $100 a ton instead of $60 a ton.
Commercial.
Well, no, I mean, anything crosses the scales. If you take stuff from your house, anything that crosses the scales that you ain't got bagged up.
Or it isn't recyclable.
It was only the commercial folks that picked up trash that's the only one it applied to commercial before, and then a few meetings ago, we voted to have it apply to everybody across, that had anything across the scale. You had so many pounds free before that, is that right?
Yeah, it was 200 pounds.
So many pounds per day used to be free, but now it's not.
Yeah, and you know, one thought I had was, you know, we get a lot of complaints about, oh, we can't get rid of our kind of unbagged stuff at East. You know, everybody would like to get rid of their 2x4s and stuff at East. And so one thing I had considered was maybe instead of saying 200 pounds off a day, do a pickup truck load per day. So if it's not tied to a weight, we can service, you know, we can provide that service at East or at the convenience centers generally. So that might be something that can be worked out. So
do we bill, so like, we pay $90 per household. Do
Mhm.
businesses pay anything?
No.
They don't pay. They just pay a tipping fee. Cause
Yeah.
in Dixon County, businesses pay,
I didn't know that.
yes, cause I paid it.
Yeah.
Used to come with my electric bill and I'd have to pay it. And now, if you have multiple locations, which is what I found out, because I was over one location and we had another location, I ended up, getting it, reduced or whatever, but businesses would pay that per business.
Yeah. Lewis County, I know Lewis County has a commercial fee too. And my thought on the commercial fee is, and this is just, my thought on the commercial fee is the simplest way, is just to charge a tipping fee, because like it ties their cost to their consumption, like,
Yeah, so small business isn't paying,
Yeah.
isn't helping subsidize them for.
Yeah.
If the commercial businesses were paying a set fee like the households, they would lose all incentive to, recycle.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they recycle cardboard pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been discussed, I've.
Oh, we used to
been
have one.
It's $150, when it was 90 for residential, I
Yeah.
think it was 150 for commercial.
Yeah.
And I remember the night that Marty explained why we were gonna do away with it, and that recycling was part of it. To encourage the recycling, that we would be paid that way. I don't have a preference either way, I've just given y'all a little history since
No, I
I've been
didn't know
sitting here
that.
too long.
And the recycling numbers, ours are good, so it obviously is working to that degree, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. But, one like, $100 a ton, business is gonna slow down. I mean, I think we can, business will probably slow down. Because like, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't, I don't know.
I mean, all your dumpster people have been go to Dixon or somewhere, for sure, probably.
Which, we're filling up our landfill pretty quick.
Which, yeah, ain't a bad thing, really.
Maybe it's a temporary thing till we get our landfill permit squared
Yeah.
away, I mean, but I really don't, I think that's, like, the state, I had a meeting with the state like a year ago, we had a meeting, all the directors said, and they said, y'all need to be charging $90 per ton. That was like 9 months ago, they said, y'all gotta be charging $90 a ton. And,
To you specifically?
no, the directors, all the solid waste directors, the state, said, like, y'all need to be at $90 a ton. And I don't know why they're recommending stuff to the counties, but that's what they said. And the only reason this is $100 and not $75 is because I thought it'd be kind of politically, if we take the 120 up to 130, that's I feel like that 130 and $75 works, but I thought 120 and $100 a ton might be more easier.
Easier for what? To get passed?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't laughing at you, I was laughing with you,
Yeah.
or with Danny.
Well, I mean, like, what are the consequences of not solving this problem now? I've got a budget, and it's over there, and at the end of next year, we've got $5,000 in fund balance. So, y'all don't have to do it, but the next committee has to do it. Like, y'all be forced, so it's like the next committee will be forced to change this.
I know it's been mentioned several times. How long has it been $90?
30 years.
Inception.
30 years. And I've sat through about 10 years of these meetings of Marty begging for it to increase and now Jordan begging for it to increase. And so I don't think it's laughable, because I've heard when Josie Peterson was in my spot, she said, y'all are gonna go broke if you don't increase it. And I agree with her sentiment.
But
I wasn't laughing at him, I
I
was
know.
laughing at
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't not agree. I mean, if I have to be the one, it just, it's not even rational to think that, I mean, for kind of like Hickman County Times has gone up. Even Hickman, a quarter to here, there, and I don't know if that's, if somebody's got to put their head in the tracking job, I don't know. But it's got,
Well,
he's practically saying, we've got to make these changes or, I mean, it's gonna be bad.
Well,
It's
fact that we've
it's
had
$2.50
change.
a month.
same, the fact that we have, had the same rate for all these years. I told Jordan the story the other day, I bought a new Ram 3500 and it's a 2001 model. And diesel was 89 cents a gallon. And my gallons went faster than my dollars on the pump. That was just over Dixon. Now it's 5 something. And tires I used to buy for, $100 a set now, $100 a piece now costs me $300 or $400 a piece. So, our expenses have gone up and I hadn't looked at what the wages have gone up just due to the natural, raises and that. So I see there's a need for it, is the selling it, to get 8 folks to vote for it.
Well, Perry County let it explode. Like, Perry County, like, a few years back, they didn't fund their landfill expansion or their equipment or anything, and, the state got involved and made them fix their landfill, and they're paying an equivalent of if they had a household fee instead of local taxes, their household fee would be $231 a year. And, letting this thing explode is not,
It's bad luck.
it's not smart financially, because you'll end up paying more in the long run than solving it now.
Those that are hired, Jordan, you and I talked about the other day, those that are hired, they get revenue from other sources other than just fee, is that correct? And other than just a household fee or a tipping
Yes.
fee?
Yeah, there are 5 counties with household fees that are in our area, and 3 of them get local taxes. The one that doesn't, other than us, Dixon does not get local taxes, but they're charging commercial fees. I didn't know that, so.
Well, if when you say local taxes, you're saying, like for the sake of this, you're saying there's taxes that are added to their with their property tax, you're saying from like our fund, our general fund?
But they get allocation from property tax or the wheel tax. I don't know what the specific tax is, but on their budgets on the state comptroller's website, it says local taxes. That's the budget line. So you have solid waste fee on the budget, and then you have local taxes. That's what I see on the other counties' budgets. And so then to get the tax allocation per household, they just divided the tax allocation divided by the number of households in the county, and that's where I come up with that equivalent household fee.
Our resolution is such that I don't know if we could even do that.
Raise the
Without
house.
changing the resolution.
Yeah, I've got, I'm seeking, sponsors for, this, draft resolution here.
I've got a suggestion though. I'm in no way concerned about the election, so you talking to me is not like talking to Matthew. But what might be helpful for those that are concerned about the election is if you could paint a picture of what solid waste would look like if we keep it at 90 and 60. The first thing happens, you close convenience center.
Yes, the only operation we do that doesn't.
That's
make-
hardball,
Yeah.
but that's.
Well, it's the reality. It's just reality. It's not a threat or anything like that, but the only operation that we do that doesn't make money is convenience centers. And so, in fiscal year 28, if you're looking at this and you're like, well, we're gonna raise the fee, or we don't wanna raise the fee, your option is gonna be raise the fee or pick which convenience centers to remove from the operation to save money. Cause recycling makes money, the landfill makes money, and that's kind of what those are 2 other operations other than the convenience centers and the transfer stations, so. And it, yeah.
Steve, when is solid waste,
thinking, we've already got people that's not being able to afford the $90, we keep adding to the residential, how many are we gonna have that won't be paid off?
I mean, I don't know, I can't predict the future, but 90% pay right now.
But still, that's a pretty good increase for them to come up with.
Yeah.
April 16th.
April 16th. This committee is, the solid waste budget is kind of for the budget committee on April 16th. Which is well before our county commission meeting. So we need to paint this, or you as the director, with support from us, need to do this on April 16th to turn it off. Sorry. No, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I'm hearing it, it's what I really hear. Oh, I mean, unless anybody's willing to sponsor right now without hearing from the budget committee. Danny? Ricky?
I'll tell you,
I'd sponsor it, but, I mean, it's either $250 more a month, or you start driving and spending that in gas, hauling it to the convenience centers shut down, and they're spending gas to haul it into town.
And that it didn't get hauled into town, but it did somewhere.
Sure, and then we're paying more to go clean that up.
Yeah. Do you wanna run through the budget real quick, while we got a few minutes left? And maybe, and do like you did with me the other day, go through it and see some of the shortfalls, what other counties are doing. I know you just did that, summary.
It's on my computer up there.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know when the push would get on.
Oh, there's good.
But I can't get it up there.
Yeah, you gotta drag it up there.
Steve, have you talked to Crystal about that $85,000?
I hadn't yet.
Well, so it's not,
That's gonna be a mistake.
it started to.
Big difference.
Why?
Going up about 60% on your jump. I was just sitting here thinking, well, one thing about it, it won't be a tax increase. I can't see a tax increase if the bag of the pennies. If it is, it'll be 1 cent or 2 cents. At that number, 13 cents gets you $1 million. Right now, it takes 21 cents. That'll be the payoff. We're still stuck on 14.
What's that?
14.5. We're gonna have to balance that out. But that's gonna give us one, if that number is correct, that's gonna give us one hell of a low, rate. Very low.
Well, they got the penny valued at.
84,000.
Wow.
Last year was like 53.
53.
Dustin, you say you wanted to see the other counties with their,
Yeah, give us some comparison and.
thought that was gonna be better.
Jordan
Got any binoculars?
Jordan has up here the balanced budget.
I've already
Required by state law.
Bring your rangefinder.
So, y'all are ready, Jordan, go ahead.
Control plus.
About 20 yards, Dick.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright.
The slope, 22.
I can't.
Half 60.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Y'all see them numbers?
Chromebook, man.
Plug it up.
Can't see it.
No.
Some of the other files, it's weird.
Yeah.
I can barely
It's
see
a
that.
couple of changes.
I like those always hot topics, they got the letters up there fuzzy like,
Mid settings. You got settings right there, yeah.
what was the old commercial back in the seventies, Tennessee Trash, oh gosh, Matthew, Daddy remembers them. Barnhill won't, you too.
In that old Corvair,
Oh, Tennessee, what the guy that did it lived up there at Lyle's, Ed Bruce. Ed Bruce, there you go, yeah, Ed Bruce, yeah. He was in Gunsmoke, he was in a lot of movies, yeah. Country music star.
Thank you, sir.
He was Tennessee Trash man, wasn't he?
Wow. So that way what you see is what we're seeing there.
Perfect.
We went back.
Go back.
75% part.
Alright, so at 90, 60, 5% reserve. And, this is 15 years. We will have a breakdown. We're not funding our future equipment. The budget isn't balanced and we're running out of money in 2028. And this next fiscal year will end with 77,000. That should be 5%, not 0.05. It's 5%.
Yeah, I think that's like.
Yeah.
That's
These
your current
are the current numbers?
That's the budget you'd be voting on, so, yeah, it's,
Current number.
yeah, we'll end this year with $450,000. And then, so we'll start out next year with $450,000. And then by the end of that year, we'll have $7,000. And this is assuming Perry County
Doesn't renew.
doesn't renew with us, yeah. There's some, there's more cuts than, we cut another $244,000 of